high fantasy,
Yep.
and also adult fiction, more
Yes,
recently.
specifically visionary and metaphysical.
Could you maybe explain to me what that means? Visionary.
I suppose it's often described as death fantasy to some, what I write, so what happens when you die. So sort of the afterlife kind of, that sort of story. And that's mostly what I focus on.
Is that through all of the books? Because I know the most recent one was a novella set in New York, wasn't it?
Yes, it was set on 9/11 and in New York City. And that's the only one at the moment that's a visionary, but there will probably be a sequel coming out this year.
Now I'm trying to Noah Finn and the Art of Suicide. Yeah, that one there. Okay, so but previous to that, we have a series. Is it a series? I think it is, isn't it? Finding Pandora.
Yes,
which is
a series of 4.
A series of 4. So, how long did it take you to write that series?
A long time. It was first released in 2010 and then went through quite a few rewrites and quite a few re-releases. Most recently, about a year ago, when I started Curious Cat Books, my publishing company, so it was re-released under that. So this is the most recent version of it, and that's all 4 books in one.
Right. So these are different from, say, a year ago. The actual text has been edited.
Yes, it's been re-edited, complete new cover, just a fresh re-release.
And why has it been re-edited, if I may ask?
Because I'm picky. I'm really picky. I'm a copy editor, and I think I just wanted to go through and just make sure that I was 100% happy with it. And there were very few tweaks to make, considering how much it'd been through already.
Yeah.
But I'm so fussy, so that's why.
Was it technical because you're a copy editor, or was it more content?
No, it was more content. It was more. Does this comment need to be here? But also just dialogue and what the characters were saying, and just a little bit of a rewrite as well. So.
Because you've just grown as a writer and you've got more.
Yeah, well, I was quite young when I first released it, and it's been a long time since then. And I just thought maybe it needed a bit more of a fresh perspective, that's why.
And Eon Infinitum.
Eon Infinitum.
I thought the French was going to be the difficult bit, but it's not. It's science fiction. What is the harmony grid? I know no one else is going to know what that means, but that's something in there. Is that a spoiler if I ask what the harmony grid is?
It's not a spoiler, no. The harmony grid is a safe zone that's outside of Titan, which is an underground ark where my characters live, and it's set in a future where Earth is dying and we survive underground. So the harmony grid is exactly a grid of safe places outside of Titan for New York that the trains run on. So that was pretty much all I focused on. It was the things that people already knew quite a lot about, so that there wasn't chunks of boring description telling them what they already know. But for world building, for post-apocalyptic and fantasy, I think you've got to give a little bit more, because this is a world that I might know in my mind really well, and in my imagination it's clear and I can imagine every tree and every blade of grass, but that's in my head, and I've got to get other people to understand that and to see it as I see it. So it's important that you give a little bit more when you're building your own world, but sometimes not so much in the real world.
Has anybody else done something he wrote in, which was that you believe that through writing we face our darkest fears, we explore infinite new worlds, and we realise our true purpose. And I was just thinking, in order to explore infinite new worlds, you've got to create them first, which is kind of a Herculean task. There was a review that also caught my eye, which was of Pandora, which was Finding Pandora is rich with societies, environments and cultures that are bustling with life, history and tradition. That's a nice review to get, isn't it?
Yeah.
And a second one, the planet of Halo, though the name is not memorable, is a place that one feels has a lot of secrets, history, and a story to tell. And the two questions that drew from me is, first of all, what is it that drives you to invent whole new worlds? Because you don't have to, there is one here. I'm on it right now. So there must be something that drives you to do that. And the second thing is, how does your setting dictate your plot and what happens? For example, if a hailstorm turns up in your book, it may well interrupt an investigation that's being underway. So,
okay, well, in answer to the first question, we live on this planet, we see it every day, we deal with the problems of everyday life here, we go to work, we come home, and I think for me, creating a brand new location, a brand new planet or a new setting, it's just that curiosity part of me that just wants to know what is out there and looking up at the stars and thinking, is there another planet out there with people on it, and what does that look like and how does it compare, and is it rich with different societies and what are their beliefs and what does it look like and what would it be like to spend a day there. So for me, writing speculative fiction is all about writing the places that I want to go to, I want to explore, I want to be a part of, and as that place's creator, that allows me to do that. And what was your second question?
you take us to plot, because I think sometimes I had a discussion once in this setting, which was about how you come up with your storyline, your plot. And some people will actually write it as they're going along and be surprised by what happens. We talked about how characters could change your mind about what was going to happen in your plot. How can your setting change your mind about what's going to happen in your plot?
Okay, well, for Aeon Infinitum, that one is set in the future, and it's when the world has stopped turning, and so we're in a 6 month of darkness, 6 months of hot temperatures, and it takes place in the snow, so it's basically the characters have come out of Titan, they're forced to explore the Harmony Grid, and I used the weather and the conditions and the setting against them to make their lives hell, because there would be no story unless I did that.
Conflict.
So yeah, and so I just used the setting and the ruins that they passed through and just the details around them and the temperature and what would happen if they fell through a frozen lake and how would they have to then cope with being freezing and cold all the time and not having the ability to warm up and go inside and get a cup of tea. So I used the setting against the characters rather than having the characters dictate where they were going to go, rather than doing it the other way around. And Titan in particular, I wanted it to be very claustrophobic. If anybody here has read Hugh Howey's Wool, and that's the sort of feeling that I wanted to give. I wanted it to be claustrophobic and like the characters want to get out and they want to explore this world, however horrible it might be, but the world that they're in at the moment is restrictive and they're everything's against them. So I wanted the world that they're living now to be threatening and the world outside to be threatening, so they really don't have that choice. And that's how I used the setting against the characters.
So it wasn't that you would have little moments where the setting would surprise you. You were almost allied with the setting against the characters.
Yeah, in that particular book, drama. Definitely. It was what part of the setting around them, what part of the ruins, or what can happen with the weather that can basically mess with these characters and their lives and what they're trying to achieve. So